Hello guys. So being a sociology student, it's an always it's always a pleasure to read uh, the material of great importance. And when it come to sociologists of larger than life, Srinivas for Indian sociology is a big name. So today we are going to read a paper written by Srinivas, a note on Sanskritization and Westernization. So shall we? A note on Sanskritization and Westernization. So I will read along with you. So it would help you skim through lines easy. The concept of Sanskritization, as we all know, is far more complex, far more layered than Westernization. So in his work, in his earlier work, he talked about Sanskritization, Westernization, but this is where he talks at length. So the concept of Sanskritization was found useful by me in the analysis, as the MN Srinivas starts telling us, the social and religious life of Kurds of South India. A few other anthropologists who are making studies of tribal and village communities in various parts of India seem to find the concept helpful in the analysis of their material. And this fact induces me to attempt a re-examination of it. The people are using it. So Emin Srinivas was a sociologist who kept on tweaking his own definitions on own concepts. So also in the case of dominant caste, the concept in which he asserts 6 to 7 factors which define what a dominant caste is. So the first use, as I was telling you, the term Sanskritization in the sense occur in my book, Religion and Society Among the Kurds of South India. His work, his field work, which, as I have read in some obituary, I guess, that G.S. Gure, the pioneer, the another pioneer of sociology in India, sociology for India, uh, made Amin Srinivas uh, made convince he convinced him to uh, rather do a field view. He being a book view uh, follower, text view follower, he still insisted Amin Srinivas that he should consider going further with field view. So let's just continue. The caste system is far from a rigid system in which the position of each component caste is fixed for all time. So he, in the first line only, in the opening line only, he shatters the book view that caste is very, very far from rigid system. The movement has always been possible, and is especially so in the middle regions of the hierarchy. So he's not talking about the. Let me explain with this. So let's just say that there's a caste, there's a society with caste groups A, B, C, D, and E. So what is in this case, what he's trying to make a case that movement is possible between, in between, uh, A and A and E being fixated. So mostly the changes, the movement which happens is between either C treats B as the reference group or D treats C as the reference group. So that is the thing. A low caste was able. Let me rub this first. Sorry for the delay. So, movement has always been possible, and especially shown in the middle regions of the hierarchy, as we talked in the example. A low caste was able in a generation or two. So, timeline is also mentioned. The time it takes for some individuals to uh, ride up the ladder, to rise to a higher position in the hierarchy by adopting vegetarianism and teetolism. Teetolism, sorry, being a teetoler. It's a good thing actually. So in his 1952 in work of his of 1952, he try and make the point that if you want to rise the ladder, go up the ladder, you need to adopt some uh, cultural changes, the changes in your habits, in the way you live, the way of life. You can rise up the ladder, and by Sanskritizing its ritual and the pantheon, the stories behind it, surrounded up to it. In short, it took over as far as possible the customs, the rites, and the beliefs of the Brahmins. Actually, for initially in his definition, it seems that for every caste, actually here he talks about the Hindu caste system in which Brahmin tops the hierarchy uh, in most cases, and Kshatriyas, then Vaishyas, which is a thing which varies as we move from one geographical region to another in India, as S.C. Dubey has pointed out clearly that there is no single remote village which can represent India and its diversity. So I can't stop but to give reference of S.C. Dubey here. So basically, what he in his earlier definition of 1952, 1952 work, uh, in early 1950s, religion and society, he makes a point that if you consider Brahmins as your reference group and make certain changes in your rituals, in your customs, and the stories which surround them, you can actually Sanskritize yourself. And for a fun fact, uh, earlier he used word Brahmanizing in the place of Sanskritizing, which he later changed to Sanskritization, Brahmanization to Sanskritization to make it, I guess, more caste neutral. To quote uh, Weber here, Max Weber, he talked about value free and value neutral. So basically, he was flooded with values when he talked about Brahmanical. So he became closer to value neutral when he changed the word to Sanskritize. And I think the video is getting longer. So I'll just in this part one of this paper, I'll discuss uh, only this one first opening abstract, or the that's not the correct thing. Actually, the reference, sorry, the Emin Srinivas talks about his work here. So, the adoption of Brahminic way of life by low caste seem to have frequent, though theoretical forbidden. Theoretically forbidden. So, as we as we are known to the fact that there's the rituals which Brahmins considered as their only hegemony, as their hegemony over the rituals, the pure rituals they inculcated in life. So they were forbidden, theoretically, they were forbidden.